All right, so you've been playing around with AI tools, right? You've learned the basics, you've gotten a feel for how they work. But what happens when you go from just practicing to using it for your actual work? When the stakes are real and the results really, really matter? That's what we're going to get into. And this is the exact question that seems to trip so many of us up. I mean, it's one thing to have AI write a fun little story, but it's a completely different ballgame when you're using it for, say, a critical email to your boss or planning a high-stakes project. All of a sudden, a few new questions start popping into your head. You know the feeling. The AI gives you a response, and hey, it looks pretty solid. But then that little voice in the back of your head pipes up asking, wait, is this actually accurate? Can I rely on this? That hesitation is completely normal, especially when you're the one on the hook for the final product. And then there's the other side of it, the ethical part. You might start wondering if using AI for a certain task just feels right. Or maybe you worry it misrepresents your own abilities. Yeah, that question of boundaries, it's a big one. And finally, you hit the really practical question of control. How much of the AI's output should you actually keep? Where's the line between a helpful draft and something that isn't really yours? Seriously, how do you know when it's done? But here's the thing, and this is so important. Those questions, all those anxieties you feel, they are actually a good thing. They're a sign that you're using your judgment, which is, without a doubt, the most critical skill in this whole process. Which brings us to the number one most important ground rule you have to remember. Think of AI as something that supports your thinking. It enhances it, it strengthens it, it does not replace it. You are always, always in the driver's seat. So it all boils down to this really simple two-step balance of power. First, you do the thinking. You figure out your goal, your message, what you're trying to achieve. And only then do you bring in ChatGPT to help you build on that to strengthen your work. Okay, so with that foundation set, we can finally move past just writing simple prompts and start applying these skills to the real work you do every single day. We're going to walk through a clear progression here, from writing messages all the way to making complex decisions. Just look at how this all builds on itself. You start with something basic like drafting messages. Then you level up and learn to refine those messages for absolute clarity. From there, you use the tool to help plan and prioritize your work. And then, finally, you learn how to use it as a real thinking partner for those big decisions. And this right here, this is such a perfect illustration of AI's power as a clarity editor. On the left, you've got this wall of text. Sure, all the info is in there, but it's a slog to get through. But with one simple prompt, boom, you get the version on the right. It's scannable, it's clear, the main point is right up top. You haven't changed what you're saying, just how much better you're saying. Now, this is absolutely key when you get to decision-making. You're not asking the AI to make the choice for you. No way. Instead, you're asking it to be your brainstorming partner. You ask it for options, not a final answer. You ask it to lay out the trade-offs, not to draw a conclusion. And you have it generate questions you need to think about, not give you a false sense of certainty. The final call, that always belongs to you. As you start applying these skills to more personal, more complex situations, it's totally natural to feel a little unsure. You might wonder where the boundaries are, or if you're even using the tool in the most effective way. The good news is you're not expected to have it all figured out on your own. This is a direct quote from the source material, and it's there for a reason. It's that important. If you find yourself wrestling with this stuff, trying to figure out if a use case is appropriate or how to keep your own voice in your work, that's not a sign you're failing. It's a sign that you're being thoughtful. And this is exactly where talking it through with someone can be a total game changer. When the work starts to feel personal or the lines get a little blurry, that's what a coach or a mentor is for. For instance, the source material for this explainer points out services like pathfindercampus.ca, where you can find experienced coaches ready to help you navigate these exact kinds of questions, and they often start with a free consultation. So when you combine your own expert judgment with these kinds of structured techniques, and you know you have support if you need it, something amazing happens. AI stops being this weird, mysterious tool you're just messing with, and it becomes something way more powerful. Look at what you can do now. You have a real framework for applying AI effectively and, just as important, responsibly. You can use it to draft messages that are crystal clear, to instantly fix the structure of your writing, to help you organize complex projects, and to think through tough decisions while you stay firmly in control. So you're no longer just a user of a tool, you're the director of a powerful thinking partner. The real question isn't just about what the AI can do anymore.
The real question is, with your judgment and your goals leading the way, what are you going to build together?